Hi everybody, my name's Amy Conn and I am filming to you live from Public Coffee Roasters. They are a beautiful, this is a beautiful building and they have completely donated their space for us. Mosaic Yoga, and we are going to be practicing building upon our foundation. Now we started this series 2 classes ago, and we have gently built upon our sturdy foundation. So I'm going to be reviewing what our foundation is, and then going through each step, each class, and then we're going to end with our 3rd level today. Kind of exciting. All right, happy to have you here. All right, let's begin with pranayama practice, so take a comfortable seat. For me, I like to roll up my mat on one end and sit upon it. So you could do that too, or if you have blocks or rolled up yoga mat for forest yoga, you could use that. If you don't have any of these things, what I'd like to do is just roll up one end, sit upon it, elevate my bum, which helps me with my back. It helps elongate my back. It also helps me to free my belly, to make sure that the breath is going gently and unencumbered into my belly. Okay, so much of our practice in life is bent over, texting, on the computer, driving, and we tend to get this forward notch, this head movement where a bone can actually stick out of the back of our neck, where we feel tight, maybe our shoulders are up. I'm going to begin with this pranayama practice where it helps release that tension and also helps get rid of the bad air. In with the good, out with the bad. So 2 versions of this that you can practice. I don't want you getting lightheaded, but this is something that we can do. First of all, taking your hands on your shoulders and elevate your elbows up, okay? Now, you can breathe 2 ways. One is inhale, exhale, shh. Inhale, exhale, shh. It's like you're shushing a child. Shh, shh, shh. That's one way. If you feel like I've got a lot of junk in my lungs and I want to really just get it out, I want to increase the vibration maybe a little bit more, you can double time that. So like this. Shh, 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 shh. I'll be counting. You're going to do 50 of those. Now, you don't need to worry about your inhalation. It's a vacuum effect and it will come in. What you're focusing on is your exhalation, is getting the breath out. All right. So pick your medicine. Pick the pranayama that you want to do. Taking your hands to your shoulders, shoulders down, elbows up. I'm going to be doing the inhale, exhale. I'll count. I'll give you a countdown when we near the end, and then I'll tell you what to do next. Ready? Begin. Shh, 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 shh. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears, and when I say release, I want you to drop them. Release. Inhale up, release. Inhale up, release. All right, great job. Inhaling up towards the ceiling, reaching your fingers up, and then exhale, one arm down to the side, and then just crawl your fingers onto the ground, push down into the ground, and reach up towards the ceiling. With this pose, I want you to inhale your heart up, exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. You're pushing down into the ground, causing that resistance. And what it does is the energy pushes down and creates this hole, this circle right here. That's what I'd like you to keep in mind, not collapsing into your lower side body, but rather pushing and having the breath and the energy cycle be a circle of energy. 2 more rounds. Using your body with your breath and moving your breath with your body. Inhaling up towards the ceiling, reach up both arms. Exhale, opposite side. Pushing away from the ground, which creates that cycle of energy. Inhale up, reaching over. Inhale, heart opening. Exhale. Breathing into the back body, breathing into the side body. Inhale, exhale, feeling your body move and open. You are creating space inside your body and putting oxygen into it, and then you're releasing it. A lot of my students say, when do I inhale and when do I exhale? So this is a good example. I'd like you to inhale up, that's an extension. Exhale, contraction. Kind of like that bellows breath. Inhale, allow space. Exhale, contract. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, contract. Great job. Nice work. We're going to be coming onto all fours, so you may need to unroll your mat or just remove your block. Great. Okay, with this pose, we're just going to be reviewing our foundation. And because some of our energy is going to be placed into our wrists, I want to make sure that we are protecting our joints well. Using your whole body helps distribute the energy so you're not weighted in one part of your joint, one part of your body. Let's begin by lubricating our wrists, having our fingers towards each other, and I want you to just slowly rock back and feeling the fascia, which is like saran wrap around your muscles, just slowly open and release, helping your muscles and tendons warm up and lubricate. One more round, opening up. Taking your hands and having the fingers come in towards each other. In this pose, I'd like you to come onto your knees a little bit. Don't bend your elbows, but rather circle, just putting weight into our wrists and circling at the same time. Allowing our wrists to warm up, the tendons around them, the joint. Sometimes as I age, I feel them and I hear them talk to me, just like pop, pop, pop. All right, taking your fingers, and I want you to go to the back side of your hand, and be careful with this one. Not putting too much weight into your wrist here. This one has a little bit of sensitivity. So as you push down, again, try not to bend your elbows, but rather just gently rock back and forth, feeling the back side of your wrist. Now, you could do these poses anytime. Go ahead and shake them out. Anytime during this practice. We might be spending a lot of time on our wrists, or you might be feeling soreness in your wrist. I want you to not go to pain. I want you, know the difference between sensation and pain. Okay, I'm feeling this pose. Oh, I'm hurting in this pose. I never want you to go to hurting in this pose. So come out of the pose, take care of yourself, maybe do the wrist exercises, and then rejoin me. I can't see you at home, so you have permission to take care of yourself. Getting onto your hands and knees, aligning your foundation. Remember this from 2 classes ago. Pressing down with your fingers and your hands, having your hands below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Pressing down with all 10 pads of your fingers. I like to stay up on my toes back here, so I'm on the pads of my toes as well. As I begin my breath and my movement, I'm inhaling here, exhaling here. As I inhale, I expand and elongate. As I exhale, I contract and draw my belly in. It's so important to lubricate our spine, taking care of our body, having a long and strong torso. These things we must take care of throughout our life. When you take your next exhalation into your cat pose, you may want to just hang your head, shaking it no and yes. Great. Go ahead and inhale your left leg back and your right arm forward. Now, to quote Katie Shifkin, who I love, I want you to reach back with your feet and reach back with your toes. And with your hands, I want you to reach forward with your hands and then reach forward with your fingers. Draw and pull your body apart. Draw your belly in. Great. Wonderful. Now, can you begin challenging the foundation by moving your right hand to the right and your left foot to the left? Holding strong. If this is not working for you, then just resume back into long line. Right hand forward, left foot back. Drawing in and up with your belly. Great. Go ahead and reach that right hand to your left foot. Find it. When we're in proprioceptive, finding your foot in space can be challenging. You know it's back there, but exactly where it is you may not know right away. Push the foot into the hand. Open up your heart. Feel the stability of your foundation. Feel the earth below you. Release. Extend long. All right, I'm going to turn my body around so I can demonstrate this better. Still using the right and left. Lower your right hand to the mat. Kickstand your right knee and foot off to the side like a bike stand. Your left leg is straight and long. If holding this leg in space doesn't feel good, go ahead and put it on the ground. Inhale your left arm up and over. So the eye of the elbow is by your left ear. You could reach and elevate that leg, feeling the balance, feeling the earth below you. Again, I'm applying all the tools that I have been teaching you over the last 2 sessions. Pressing down with the pads of the fingertips. Feeling the earth, spreading my fingers apart, spreading my toes apart, distributing the energy evenly, breathing into the whole side body. Nice work. Now, if you can, finding that foot in space, I can't see it, I know it's back there, finding it, pushing the foot into my hand, this is a fabulous pose. Breathing into the side. Maybe you can tip your body so your heart comes up towards the ceiling. Great. Breathing into the front body. Releasing, extending long, and then coming into our cat-cow again. Great job. You may want to take a break here. You may want to get some water here. Always praise yourself. Always pat yourself on the back and say, I did that. I just did that. Now, acknowledge that one side of your body may be different than the other side of your body. I know I have a stronger side on one half of my body, and I have a more flexible side on the other. I also know that I balance differently on each foot. So, as stuff comes up, just accept it, acknowledge it, draw attention to it, and then move on. And know that there's no judgment with it. You're not a bad or worse yoga practitioner if you fall out of balance. I could be doing so today. Okay, let's switch sides. I'm going to start on this side. Inhale your left arm forward and your right leg back. Pressing down with your foundational arm and hand. Reaching in opposite directions. I like to include the top of my head extending forward. I want to have my whole body working, so I'm going to extend long. I'm going to put breath into it. I'm going to have my mind kind of scan each part, like, okay, that's my knee. Oh, that's where my toes are. You know, I'm going to be reaching and feeling and communicating my mind with my body. Okay? Going off to the side, putting your body out of whack a little bit, trying to have it go off balance, and then resume. Great. Finding that foot in space. A trick is that you may want to bring the knee in, bend the leg, find the hand, and then push the foot into the hand. Breathing into the heart. And then release. Extend long. Plant your left foot hand down. Kickstand that left leg like a bike stand. And then extend up and over, reaching. Again, you could rest that upper leg onto the ground, or you can extend it up. Reach long, pushing down and breathing into the side body. Pushing down with the foundational hand. Breathe in, exhale out. If you want to inhale up again, exhale, curve down. This is a great opportunity to do so. And then coming down. And everybody come down into child's pose. I like to take wide knee child's pose. And I like to rest the center of my head onto the mat, have my big toes touching my knees far apart. Resting my belly in between my knees, in between my thighs, allowing space for my belly to just breathe and relax. Always hydrating yourself throughout your practice is something I like to do. I get overheated. I want to not be uncomfortable with my temperature, so I like to hydrate myself. You may choose a different line of thought. It's fine. Okay. So what we just practiced there, come up into hero's pose. What we just practiced there on our hands and knees, that practice you can do 3 times over. As I go into something else, you could always come back to that hands and knees practice. Again, no rules with this. Okay. Let's come back into our hands and knees, and we're going to build upon it. Push down into the hands and roll over the toes into downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, this may be your first dog of the day, go ahead and bicycle your heels down one at a time, drawing in and up with your belly. Breathing in and out. Inhale your right leg back, having your toes come down, point down towards the ground, your heel reaching, drawing in with your belly. Exhale, have that knee come in and up towards our chest, and then plant it in between our hands. Okay. Before we come up, find your foundation. Are your feet at railroad distance apart? rather than tightrope. It's up to you. It's how you like to practice, but just feel strong and sturdy as you come up. Exhale, down again. Now bring that right foot back. You can come into a three-legged plank, a three-legged dog. You can come down into a chaturanga, inhaling up, or you could just meet me in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg back. Bringing it forward. Finding your foundation. Be sturdy before you rise. Exhale, come down. Reaching back, exhale. Rolling over the toes. Now, there are no rules again with if you're doing chaturanga or not. When we go through this series, you could just go straight into downward facing dog. You can also skip all of that and stay on your hands and knees and just practice lifting your legs up, doing a three-legged all fours. Okay? Inhale, right leg. Exhale, plant the foot. Inhale up. Oops, see? There we go. Little cattywampus. Exhale, come forward. Choosing your variation. In left leg, inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Great. We're going to build upon this pose. I'm going to start in the opposite direction so I can be a little bit clearer. Inhaling your right leg back. Exhale, bringing it forward. Crescent lunge. Then I'm going to plant my back heel. Outer edge of my foot goes down into the mat. Warrior two. In my warrior two, I'm going to take assessment of my body. Okay, where is it in space? Is my knee over my ankle? Are my shoulders hiking up? I can flip my palms, lower my shoulders, come back, reach. Good. Inhale, reverse, warrior. Breathing into the side body, keeping that front leg bent. Exhale, side ankle pose. Reaching, extending, breathing. Warrior two. And then windmill that back arm forward, planting it. You can choose to come into downward facing dog or a chaturanga. I'm going to come in right into downward facing dog. I'm going to switch sides again just so I can be visually better understood. Good. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, bringing it forward. Finding the foundation as I come up. My goodness, both sides a little wampus. There we go. Exhale, warrior two. Flipping palms. Assessing shoulders. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Warrior two. And then bringing that back arm forward, determining if you want to do a chaturanga or just coming into downward facing dog. All right, so this next part, we're going to review from last session. So this is going to be challenging our stability on our sturdy foundation. So if I intentionally put you in a pose that makes you wobble, can you find stability there? Is there a way you can find balance? This is something that we have to practice on and off our mat, something that is continuously out there in the world where we have built this sturdy foundation and we want things to go accordingly, and sometimes things just don't go that way. So can we find the flexibility to regain that center point, to find our center line? Can we find balance? Can we use our ebb and flow in our life on our mat? Okay, so here we go. So come into your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg back. When you do this, I actually want you to take a wider stance with that standing leg. Pressing down pretty sturdily with your right hand, can you bring that left hand halfway between your left foot and where your left hand used to be? Okay? All right, now, with energy, you are reaching back with that right foot. Can you unweight that left hand? Can maybe you put that left hand on that left shin? Maybe can you reach that left hand back? Can you bend your right knee? Find the right toes in space. Push the foot into the hand. And then release and come into a downward facing dog. Take a break. Come on to hands and knees or hero's pose. That was awesome. If you came out of the pose several times, if you fell over, that's great. You're finding your edge. I used to tell my children all the time, did you fall down in skiing? If you did, that's awesome. Now you know where your edge is. And so when you go back and try it again, your body remembers, and it goes back to that place. Instead of always repeating it, you actually build upon it. That's what we're doing. We're building upon it. Okay, take some water, get some breath, try it again. Let's do it on the other side. Okay. Downward facing dog. Stabilizing your pose, pressing down with your left hand, pressing down with your fingertips. Maybe stepping in a little bit with your feet. That helps a little bit, shortening your dog. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, reach it back. Taking your right hand and bringing it halfway between your hand and your foot on the right side. Unweight it. Just practice unweighting it. Remember, keep a strong foot. That left foot needs to be strong and in space, reaching. Unweighting that right hand. Pressing down with your left fingertips. Maybe taking that right hand and putting it on your shin. And then putting it down on the ground. Maybe reaching that right hand back. And then placing it back on the ground. Maybe bend that left knee. Try to find that foot. Push the foot into the hand. And come into this three-legged dog. Binding three-legged dog. Come out of the pose. Pat yourself on the back. Good job, good job, good job. All right, take some water. Try it again. Maybe go back to it really quickly, finding it. Maybe if you fell out of it, you're going to try it again, giving yourself the opportunity. I'll just have some water. All right. Okay. Now we're building upon this pose. What? I thought we were done. Nope. Okay. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Let's see. No. Inhale your left leg. I'm going to start this way. Inhaling left leg, bringing it forward. Widening my feet. Then I'm going to take both of my hands and I'm going to push them on my left thigh. As I push into this left thigh, it's activating my core muscles, my lower abdominal muscles. As I come forward like a runner stands, my pads of my right foot, As I come forward, I'm balancing. Okay. I'm pushing into this quad and I'm lifting my right leg. Each side of my body balances differently than the other. So I have to be mindful as I'm reaching back. Okay. You can try extending your arms, reaching back with your feet, foot. You can keep your hands on your quad. Okay, now we're going to bend this right knee, right leg, right foot, and we're going to bind it. We're going to grab onto the foot with the left hand. And if that's not working for you, take both hands down to the ground and grab. Oh, that's so much easier. Binding. Oh, this part's good. You could take that lower hand, go to the quad, extend up. Wonderful. Okay. Resuming that pose. It's challenging. Go back to that pose. Release that right foot. We're going to come into half moon pose. Now, imagine we just did this on our hands and knees. You can continue to go back to your hands and knees with this. You don't have to be standing. Come into half moon pose. I love this pose. It's opening, it's freeing, feels great. You can have this lower leg bent, or you can straighten it. Bind that foot, reaching back, breathing into the heart. Extend long, coming out of the pose, having your feet meet side by side. Go ahead and grab each elbow, take a forward bend. Ragdoll pose. Taking your hands to your hips, inhaling, elongating your spine, crown of your head, reaching up. Inhaling, up, exhaling, hands to heart. Now that we know what's coming on the other side, don't chicken out. Go forward with it. Don't be worried about it. Know that each side is different. I kind of was wobbly there. Just play with it. People call yoga the yoga playground. Well, we're just playing. We're having fun. We're moving our body with our breath, and we're trying out new things. Okay, downward facing dog on the other side. Inhale the right leg back, pressing down with fingertips and hands. Exhale, bring that right foot forward, planting it in between the hands. Taking your hands to the quad, pushing down, balancing, and then perhaps lifting. Now this is my poorer side, and we'll just see how it goes. If you want, you can extend your arms. I'm going to keep my hands on my quad. You could also take your hands down into this one-legged forward bend, or some people call it standing splits. Taking your right hand and reaching back for your left foot. Once you find it in space, push the foot into the hand. Maybe unweight that left hand. Maybe press it into the right quad. Maybe extend. Lower the right hand and come into half moon pose, extending that left leg. Reaching up with the left arm, left fingers. Go ahead and bind the pose. We're almost done. Push the foot into the hand. Release. Having both feet meet side by side, ragdoll pose. Shaking your head yes and no. Inhaling up, all the way up, hands at heart space. Great. Okay. Nice work, everybody. That was challenging. And what's so important to me, and hopefully to you too, while you are practicing, I want to make sure that before we enter into Shavasana and into our cooling down part, I want you to know that no matter what challenge comes your way, whether you're seeking for something that's in the future or running away from something that's in the past, I want you to know that the practice you have here and now is really all that matters in the long run, here and now. And know that you can build your strengths here and now, so when future does arrive, that we're ready and prepared and flexible and capable, confident, brave. All right, let's come to our back. Hug your knees into your chest. Go ahead and rock side to side. This next part of our cooling down pose is one of my most favorite, in that I love extending long with my left leg and hugging my right knee in. I like to keep my left leg elevated, and then sometimes I need to massage my hip flexors, that just relaxing them, elongating, relaxing the fascia, massaging and moving the tendons and muscle aside as I encourage it to release. Go ahead and take a one-legged happy baby, taking your right hand to the outer edge of your right foot. And again, reaching with your left heel as your right knee comes in and up and down into our armpit. I'm going to push my foot into my hand, and my hand pushes back into my foot. Drawing my belly down, not overarching my back, extending my left leg. Breathing. And switching out my legs, maybe hugging both knees in first, rocking side to side. Then hugging my left knee in and extending my right leg out. Massaging my hip flexors again, telling them to release and relax. Everything's going to be fine. Taking half happy baby, grabbing the outer edge of my foot, encouraging my left knee down into my armpit, pushing my foot into my hand, and then my hand back into my foot. Extending long through my right heel, reaching to the wall. Release, hugging both knees in. This last part, before we do our spinal twist and our Shavasana, will be a core exercise. It's important that in order to have these limbs extend and be strong, we have to have a strong core that can hold it up, like a tree trunk. We want our trunk to be strong and healthy so our limbs can hang off of them with equal strength and equal health. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to extend your left leg and have your right leg at 90 degrees. Now, if this is too much on your back, then please go ahead and lower that left foot to the mat. You can have your heel down. I'm going to have it elevated first, and then I'll show you the opposite, the other version second. I'm going to take my hands, my right hand over my left. I'm going to push into my quad, my right quad, and my quad's going to push back. This is going to cause the arch of my back to come up, and that's a weakness. I don't want that. So I'm going to draw my belly down and have my lower back come down into the mat. My belly is drawing down. I'm extending long through my left leg, pushing, pushing, drawing down, extending. Push, push, draw down, extend. You should be feeling this in your core. Push, push, draw down, extend. One more time. Push, push, draw down, extend. And then release. Great job. Widen your feet at mat width distance, and just windshield wiper your knees. Just kind of releasing any angst that pose may have brought up. All right. Okay. Now we're going to reverse it on the other side, but this time I'm going to extend my right leg, and then I'm going to anchor my heel down. So I'm still going to have my left hand on top of my right now. I'm going to push into my quad, have my hands push back. I'm going to push down with my right heel into the mat, and then I'm going to draw my belly button down. Push, push, draw down, anchor. Push, push, draw down, anchor. Two more. Push, push, draw down with your belly button, anchor with your right heel. Push, push, draw down, anchor. Wonderful work. Go ahead and windshield wiper. Nice. Excellent work, everybody. Okay, hug your knees into your chest. Good. Feel your heels with your fingertips coming into a bridge pose. It's always good to breathe into your belly after a core workout or after you contract your abdominal muscles to open them up with oxygen. Bridge is a great pose for that. So I want you to push down with your triceps, have your fingertips active, and I want you to inhale your hips up, pushing down with your big toes, feeling the back palate of your head pressing down, keeping space, at least 2 finger space behind the neck, inhaling up, bringing the chest closer to the chin. Inhaling up. This is a great pose in that you can actually physically see the oxygen come into your chest and belly. Belly breathing is such an efficient way of breathing, and it so assists in lowering anxiety, in relaxation. Now, taking our bridge ups to strengthen our back side of our core, I want you to just lower your bum, but keep the arch in your back, as if a rolled up yoga mat could come underneath your back. Inhale up, pressing down with your triceps, active fingers, pressing down with your toes. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last time. Exhale down. And then reach and stretch long. Great job, everybody. Whew. So before we do our spinal twist, this is an opportunity for you to take any final poses that you need to take in your practice. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but I always like to practice with music. I have a Spotify list that I use, and As we enter into Shavasana, you may choose to put on some relaxing music from a playlist that you particularly like. Now's the time to do that as well. If you'd like to take any final poses before Shavasana, before a spinal twist, please do so at this time. For our spinal twist, I want you to inhale your hips up, pivot them to the left, and then have your knees come to the right. If you want more of a twist, if you want to really wring out your upper body because you challenged it today, go ahead and take that lower leg and place that foot up by your left knee. Push down with that left ankle, and that will increase your twist. Your right knee will rise. Your right ankle will push down with your left knee. Sorry, I think I said that backwards. Your left shoulder is on the mat, and you're looking over your left shoulder, and you're breathing 5 breaths into your side belly. And then release. Push down with your feet to lift your hips up. Shift them to the right side of your mat and have your knees fall to the left. Again, reversing the twist, looking over your right shoulder, both shoulders on the mat. If you want to increase this twist, your left ankle comes onto your right, outside of your right knee, pushing down, increasing the twist. Five breaths into your side body. After your fifth breath, take the final resting pose, Shavasana, in a way that serves you best. You could come into snowflake, into shooting star, or hands on your belly. I like to take mini assessments while I'm here, so I start with my head and I move down to my toes. I just scan my body, and I like to sometimes find that place that's under tension still by doing the opposite or maybe exasperating it. So like I blink really hard and then I release. I clench my jaw and then I release. I make a fist and then I release. I draw my belly in and up, and then I release it. I clench my sits bones, my buttocks, and I release. I point my toes, and then I release. I like to breathe into my belly, but I want you to take the path of least resistance throughout your Shavasana, breathing in such a way that there is no constriction That moving breath in and out is with ease. Allow your next exhalation to be longer than the last one. Slowly roll over to one side and feel the orientation of your body against the earth in this new position. Feel the pressure points, allowing your body to slowly awaken. Pushing down into the ground and come into a comfortable cross-legged seated position, taking a soft gaze or closing your eyes altogether. Sitting tall, the crown of your head reaching toward the ceiling. Inhaling your arms up, pressing the palms in towards each other. Exhale, hands down into your heart. Inhaling up, exhale down. Inhaling up, exhale down. Pressing your thumbs into your sternum, sitting tall, bowing your head into your hands, being thankful for your practice, your strength. And then I always like to include people in my community, in my family, blessing and thanking them. Thank you for your practice with me today. Namaste.